In the year 9 AD, an ambush in the German forest changed the course of European history. 3 of Rome's most powerful legions were destroyed, not by elephants or rival empires, but by a coalition of Germanic tribes, led by one man. This is the story of Arminius, the chieftain who forced Rome to retreat and reshape the boundary of an empire. Arminius was born around 18 or 17 BC as a member of the noble Cherusci tribe in what Romans called Magna Germania. Unlike many of his contemporaries, Arminius was not a simple warrior. He learned Latin, served in the Roman military, and was successful enough to be granted Roman citizenship in the rank of equi, a member of the Roman knightly class. Rome saw him as an ally and advisor, but Arminius had greater ambitions, ones that would soon overturn the might of the Roman Empire. At the turn of the 1st century, the Roman Empire appeared unstoppable. Its legions had conquered Gaul and pushed deep into Europe. Augustus, the emperor, dreamed of adding Germania east of the Rhine as another Roman province, but his plans met growing resistance. In 7 AD, Governor Publius Quinctilius Varus was charged with administering and Romanizing this volatile territory, imposing taxes and enforcing Roman law. To many tribes, Roman rule felt like oppression, and Arminius secretly began forging alliances. In the summer of 9 AD, Varus received word of a supposed uprising deep in the forests. Trusted by Rome, Arminius advised him to lead 3 legions from their defensive positions toward this revolt. What Varus did not know was that Arminius had secretly built a coalition of Germanic tribes, including the Cherusci, Marsi, Catti, and Bructeri, and had strategically prepared an ambush. The dense forests broke the Romans' formations. Roman discipline, perfected on open plains, became a liability among trees and mud. Arminius' warriors attacked with surprise and aggression. For 4 brutal days, what should have been a march to winter quarters turned into the annihilation of 3 Roman legions, a disaster Rome would remember forever. Varus and many officers, seeing defeat, took their own lives rather than be captured. The bloody defeat shocked the Roman world. The loss of 3 legions and their eagle standards was a symbolic and tactical catastrophe for Rome. Emperor Augustus was reportedly devastated at the news, allegedly crying out for his lost legions. Crucially, Rome abandoned its ambition to permanently conquer Germania beyond the Rhine, making the Rhine River the effective frontier for the empire for centuries to come. Rome did not simply accept defeat. In the following years, Emperor Tiberius ordered campaigns to Germania led by his nephew, Germanicus, aiming to avenge the loss and recover lost standards. While Roman forces won some engagements and retrieved some legionary eagles, they never re-established permanent domination east of the Rhine. Rome's strategy turned defensive. Despite his military success, Arminius' later years were fraught. Tribal politics, rivalries, and fragmented loyalties weakened his position. In 21 AD, Arminius was assassinated by rival Germanic chiefs, a stark reminder that unity among tribes was never guaranteed. In later centuries, particularly in the Renaissance and the 19th century, Germans celebrated Arminius as a symbol of resistance and freedom. His story was retold as a foundational moment in the cultural memory of Europe. Modern historians view Arminius as a pivotal figure whose victory over Rome changed the strategic limits of the Roman Empire and helped define the cultural frontier between Latin and Germanic Europe. During his lifetime, Arminius was never called Hermann. All ancient sources, including Tacitus, referred to him by the Latinized name Arminius. The name Hermann emerged much later, during the early modern period, when German scholars and writers sought a native-sounding equivalent for Arminius. By the 16th century, Hermann had become a common German rendering of his name, especially in literature and historical works. Over time, Arminius, now Hermann, was increasingly portrayed not just as a historical figure, but as a symbol of German resistance to foreign domination. This symbolic transformation reached its peak in the 19th century, during an era of rising German nationalism. Between 1838 and 1875, a massive monument was constructed near Detmold, close to the traditional location of the Battle of the Teutoburg Forest. Known as the Hermannsdenkmal, the statue depicts Hermann holding a raised sword, facing west, toward France and the former Roman world. Standing over 53 meters tall, it is one of the largest statues in Europe. The monument was completed shortly after the unification of Germany, in 1871, and its meaning was clear. Hermann was no longer just a Cherusci leader. He had become a national icon. Modern historians, however, draw a careful distinction between Arminius, the historical figure, and Hermann, the national symbol. Arminius did not fight for a unified Germany. Such a concept did not exist. He fought to protect the autonomy of his tribe and allies against Roman rule. His victory had consequences far beyond his own time, helping shape the cultural and political divide between Roman and Germanic Europe. Arminius was not just a tribal leader. He was the architect of one of Rome's greatest defeats, a man whose choices reshaped an empire's borders and echoed through history. If you enjoyed this journey into early Germanic history, please subscribe and comment below what early Germanic figure you would like to explore next.